Thank you so much, REBNY. I'm glad to be here with my amazing team, my first Deputy Mayor, Sheena Wright, Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer, my Chief of Staff, Camille Josevala, and just, great New Yorkers that are working hard on behalf of this city. Years ago, when I was a real estate agent, and Brooklyn was just starting to find its place and its voice, I would take people to apartments and condominiums and houses, and before they entered the place, they would ask me two questions. How safe is the community? And how good are the schools? Over and over again, it didn't matter what their economic status was, it didn't matter their ethnicity, it didn't matter if they were coming from out of town or in town. They wanted to know, how safe is it for my children and families, and how good are the schools? Those are the feeders of your industry. Year after year, you have produced record number of great units. You have beautified this city and changed the landscape of not only Brooklyn, but Queens, as well as Manhattan. You have done an amazing job of making this city physically attractive to live in, and people from all over the globe. The mayors that I meet with globally, they debate on who's number 2 and 3, but nobody debates on number 1. Nothing is better than New York City. But REBNY, let me ask you something, because you have two of the best people who understand this industry in Evan Thies and Jackie Williams, and I'm sure they're telling you what is happening in this city that's going to impact public safety and impact our schools. Why am I still fighting for school governance? We have increased the reading and writing scores and have outpaced the other state. Why am I still having a question mark should Chancellor Banks run the school system so we can continue the success that we expect from our children after having years of our school system going in the wrong direction? And that impacts your industry. That impacts if people are going to occupy your apartments, your condominiums, your office spaces. You need to be leading this fight on making sure I have the school governance to continue the good work that we have been doing as the mayor of the city of New York and as the Chancellor, David Banks. And then look at public safety. How many of you know this bill that's about to come out? To count the number of stops bills. Good concept. Understand it. I know what the city council was trying to do. We just caught a person who stabbed 6 people in the city for no reason at all. We had 1,000 interviews of knocking on doors. If this bill were to go forward and become law, each one of those 1,000 interviews, we would have to document why we stopped them, their ethnicity, guess their age. That's an accumulated 49 hours, 2 days we would have been spent doing documentation and paperwork instead of police work. I have not seen one ad from REBNY. I have not seen one comment from you. This impacts your industry. 49 hours our officer off patrol, 49 hours that we won't be able to answer how good are the schools, how safe is the community. We can no longer be detached spectators in this full contact sport called life as we fight on behalf of the city of New York. I need you engaged, folks. 168,000 migrants and asylum seekers. We just had a stabbing on Randall's Island of one of the migrant asylum seekers that came back to assault a guard. We got to get in this game, because if the question mark lingers, how good are the schools? How safe is the community? If we answer no to that, that 138 square feet of real estate that we have empty in Manhattan is going to become even more. 51% of the new units we built, 421A. Why are we still fighting for 421A when people are saying on one side of their mouths, we need housing, but on another side of their mouths, we're not doing the tax incentives to get the housing built? Can't happen. Can't happen. We can't be passive as we fight this fight. And DM Maria Torres Springer, what you have done in the last 2 years is amazing. Just look at this, records. 14,000 new construction start units, a record. 4,000 formerly and homeless families moved into units, a record. 1,500 supportive housing units, a record. 13,000 households connected to affordable units, a record. Record after record after record. Not only did I have an Aaron Judge year, my whole goddamn team had an Aaron Judge year. We've done it. We're doing it. But we need you. If we're going to continue the recovery of this city, 2 years, people, 2 years. People told me it was going to take 5 years to recover this city. 2 years later, 2 years. More jobs than the history of this city. Decrease in homicides, decrease in shootings. Brought the revenue with a good partner in Albany and Governor Hochul. We should be happy to have a governor that has supported what we're doing here in the city year. In 2 years, cycle us out of COVID. In 2 years, we turned the city around, AA bond rating from bond raters in 2 years. And I only do it for one reason only. I wore a bulletproof vest for 22 years and protected the children and families of this city. I'll be damned if I'm going to allow it to go backwards. This is our city. This is the greatest city on the globe, and we need to start acting like it. Thank you, REBNY, for what you do.